I volunteer as tribute to make this video for you. So we're doing the law of cosines right now, law of cosines. There's our formulas that we've been using with a squared equals b squared plus c squared minus our 2bc. Whoa, if it lets me, whoa, there's our proof. Okay, there we go. And so now we're going to go ahead and, if it lets us, using our formulas that we came up with, nice. We're going to go ahead and help you there with, there it is. So there's our formulas that we're going to use. Now again, don't get hung up so much on which letter to use, which formula to use. Just think about the different sides and angles that we're using. Okay, so then we're going to keep on plugging those in our calculator on the front page. Now we're on the back page where you have to actually solve for the whole triangle. And that means that you're solved for the missing angles on the missing sides. Nice. Again, email me if you have any requirements, special things going on at home while we're at home. This is just a regular school year, don't worry about it. But if we're also stopping spreading stuff, you know, Corona, you know it, then just email me with if you have any other concerns or how many problems there are. And so here's number 11. And so we want to solve the whole triangle. We definitely want to use the law of cosines because we have side angle side. But then from there, we can use the law of sines, which is awesome. And so we can use the law of sines if we need to, which is cool. Okay. But let's first, we do definitely have to, because we have side angle side, and only the law of cosines can solve for that. So let's go to use that formula right now. And so in this case, we're trying to solve for little a. Remember how to do that from the first front page? Come on, you know how to do that. So we're going to do a squared is equal to the two sides there squared and added. So 30 squared plus 29 squared minus 2. That's a formula and then minus 2, remember? Let's write it as a formula, remember? Because that doesn't change. So that doesn't, what do you call it? So that doesn't change it stays the same for each formula. So I put that in red for you. And because I like you and you're a nice person. So minus 2 times the other two sides, square, or not squared anymore, just multiply together. We already squared and added them. Over there. Okay, so then we have our cosine again of the angle between the sides, which is our, so in this case, what the, that's silly. So I call this A. It doesn't really matter, but you know, really this isn't, what is this? This is C and this is little c. Silly goat. So we'll call this little c. There we go. Awesome. Okay, so then we're solving for c is what we're doing, Newbold, because we already have little a, it's 29. Okay, so if you wanted to reverse those, you could. You know, if you want to put 29 squared first, then 30 squared first, doesn't matter. Minus 2 times those two sides, cosine of, and then 88 degrees. Nice. So we'll go ahead and plug that into our calculator. And so we'll get 30 squared plus 29 squared. You give it a try. Do it with me. Get out your calculator. Come on. Do it with me. So times 30 times 29. And then we have cosine of 88 degrees. Beautiful. And so then we'll get a nice big number that we're going to have to do what with? Remember? So 1680.274. So 1680.274. That's what c squared equals. And we want to find little c right now, not angle c. That's a big old angle. We want to find the side length c right here. What is that? And so that little side, let's figure it out. Well, we got to square root both sides. So square root it. Here's a tricky way. If you have a calculator, a graphing calculator, you can just go second square root, second minus symbol. That's answer, A and S. And that'll do the same thing for you. So we get 41, rounded to the nearest measurement. Finally, we do have measurements on this page, centimeters. So we're going to go ahead and get 41 centimeters. Excellent. So that's one of our answers. Okay, so now what we got to do is find the other two angles. And now we can just use the law of sines to find the missing angle. And then use 180 minus the two angles to get the last angle, and then we're done with 11. So to find the missing angle, you get to choose A or B. You decide. Really? No. Yeah, A first? Okay, A first, because alphabetically they said. Oh, there's nobody here, though. They're all at home. Oh, that's okay. I thought I heard you say A behind the screen. So we're going to solve for angle A. Do you remember law of sines? So you do sine of the angle that you were trying to find, which is sine of A, over little a, equals, and then we already have C, so we're going to use sine of C over little c. And so that's the formula we're about to use. So sine of A we don't have, so we'll write it first, but we do have little a. So across from big A is what? Remember this? Little a, which is 29 centimeters. And then angle C, they gave that to us. It's 88 degrees, so we'll do sine of 88 degrees all over opposite it that we just found. And what did we just found? We found 41 centimeters. Okay, so this is from the law of sines assignment now. So now we're going to go to multiply that 29. Right now it's being divided, so we'll multiply the 29 over to the other side. And then we'll go to an inverse. Remember? Inverse. We're going to inverse both sides. So now we're going to inverse both sides. So now we figured out what A is equal to. It's all by itself now with an equal sign. So A is equal to the inverse sine of 29, which we multiplied over to the other side. Now make sure you close that parenthesis, else you will get a wrong answer. So 29 sine 88 all over 41, nice. And now that'll give us angle A. So we'll just plug that into our calculator now. So let's go ahead and do inverse sine 29 sine, whoa, whoa, divided by 41. Yeah, root beer float, come on down. They take care of us here, Weber High. Woo! Thanks. So then again, we did inverse sine of 29 sine 88, close the parenthesis, divided by 41, close the parenthesis. And that does give us 44.98, which rounded to the nearest tenth is 45, right? So we have A is equal to 44.98, which rounds up to, it's approximately 45 degrees. Nice, nice. So that's going to be for angle B that we just found. 45 degrees for angle A that we just found. 45 degrees. So that was for angle A because they gave us little a, and then we used C to help us find it. So now angle A is 45 degrees. So there's another answer for number 11. And last but not least, we just got to find that last missing angle, which is we have little b, but they want us to find angle B. And since we already found two angles, guess what? All three of them have to add up to 180. So if we do 180, which is the full, that's the total. Remember, that's the total degrees in a triangle is 180 degrees. Total degrees for a triangle. Nice. So we're going to take 180 minus 88 minus 45. And that is going to give us what angle B equals. So let's go ahead and do that right now. So we've got 180, nice, minus 88, nice, minus 45, nice. So that gives us 47 degrees. So again, what we did there was we went ahead and we took 180 degrees and we minused off angle C and we minused off angle A, and that gave us angle B. So that's our other answer there. Nice. There's 47 degrees. Nice. Okay, so then, beautiful. So that was for number 11, trying to find all the angles and all the sides. But what if you have not side angle side? Here's something new. Something new. What if you have side, side, side? What if you don't have any angles? Okay, well, let's show you that. And then you can do the rest of these problems. And so let's see here. So first of all, you have to make sure that you always start with the largest angle, right? Start with the largest angle. Because if you don't, you could get one of those ambiguous cases where just a different triangle that they didn't give you to solve, an acute triangle. So just start with the largest angle. And in this case, largest angle is B. So let's start with B. And so that means we're going to use little b to get us going with our formula. Now this is going to be new. We're using our formula in a different way for law of cosines. And so across from big C is little c, across from big A is little a. And so now we're going to go ahead and use the law of cosines to find angle B. And then we can use law of sines twice, or 180 minus to find the other angle. So I'm going to go ahead and erase that work I've done so far, or just make it smaller. And the reason why is because I need the room to help you on this problem, right? Awesome. So let's go ahead and make this a little bit smaller now, if it lets us. Oh no, it took A with it, you little. Just 1 second. There we go. Let's move A out of the way for a second. Okay, so we're just going to take this work and make it smaller. Now we've got room. There you go. You can still look at that if you need. Cool. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and use the law of cosines for number 12. If it lets us, or it doesn't want to, but we keep trying. Nice. Okay, so now we're going to start with the largest angle. So B is the largest, you can see just by the way it is, like an aspen tree. No, it's obviously the largest angle because it has the largest what? It has the largest side. So little b has the largest side. So we're going to go ahead and start with little b, or start with angle b. And so if we're starting with angle b, that goes at the very, very end of our formula. Nice. And so then we're going to go back to the beginning and use little b. So now we're going to use little b squared is equal to the other sides, which is a squared plus c squared, minus 2 times, minus 2 times those sides again. That's a times c, good. And then cosine of our angle b. So that's the formula we're going to use. So let's go ahead and do it. So 28 squared. Now keep watching this video all the way through because it gets a little tricky towards the end that you have to do it correctly, the right order of things. So again, little a we said was, remember, bring it back, it was 15. Little b is 28 and little c is 17. So we got little b squared, 28 squared equals a squared is 15 squared, the other side length, plus c squared, which is the other one, 17 squared, minus 2 times 15 times 17, good. And then cosine of angle b that we're trying to solve for. Okay, we're trying to solve for angle b because it's the largest angle. Solve for that first. Okay, so now we've got to take this carefully step by step, okay? Be real careful there. So first of all, 28 squared, what's that? So that's 784. So 784 equals, and then 15 times 15, I believe, is 225. And then 17 squared is 289, I believe. We'll double check, make sure Newbill's got this. Well, you're amazing, Newbill. 225 and 289, you're amazing. Then we got minus 2. And then we'll times those together, 15 times 17 while we're going through here. So 15 times 17 is 255. And then we have cosine of angle b. Okay. So now, this is multiplication. Can't emphasize so much enough. What? I said can't emphasize this enough. So those two are multiplied together. You have to treat that like separately. Don't touch this. Don't touch this. No. MC Hammer, don't touch this. So leave this alone for a bit and just deal with the other stuff first. So first, let's combine those together and minus it over, okay? So we're going to go ahead and take 225 plus 289. We get 514. So now we're going to take 514 and we're going to minus that over to the other side, okay? Because added those together, we get 514. Then we'll minus it over to the other side. And sometimes on the left side, it could be negative or positive. Don't freak out if it's negative. Just keep going. So 785, good, minus 514, good, is 271. So now we have 271. So this went away, and now we can touch this. Now touch this. Touch 2. So now we're going to go ahead and bring this down. Equals. And so now we can do the minus 2 times the 255. So minus 2 times 255 is negative 510. A lot of steps on this one. Sorry about that. And then a cosine of angle B that we're still trying to solve for. Okay, so now we're nearly there. So now we just got to go ahead and divide, right? Because right now they're being multiplied. So now we're going to go ahead and divide it. Divide your negative 510 to the other side and get a negative number, which is fine. Get a small negative number. All right, so now we have 271 divided by negative 510. And that gives us negative 0.5313. So that equals negative 0.5313. Nice. So now that's what cosine B equals. So we'll put that over here, negative 0.5313 is equal to cosine B. And last but not least, or you can leave it as a fraction and do it that way. Last but not least, we got to solve for angle B by itself. So we're going to inverse cosine, right, to the other side. If you do it to one side, you have to do it to the other side. So now we're going to go back to our calculator and do inverse cosine of that negative 0.5313. So that gives us 122.1. So 122.1 is our angle for B. 122.1. So we're going to erase that. We'll put 122.1 degrees. Now we'll show you just the same thing, but maybe in less steps if you really want to. So you could have done inverse cosine of, you could have done the 271, remember, divided by the negative 510. At that point, you could have inverse cosine to both sides and still would have given you 122.1. Cool. So another thing we could have done is, I don't like to usually show this, but you know, some of you really like your calculator. We could have done the very beginning and done 28 squared, remember, minus the 15 squared and minus the 17 squared, right? That would have given us 270. What the, see, maybe, did we make a mistake somewhere? Uh-oh. 785 minus 514. Where'd you get that 514? Where'd you get 785, though? New bold. What's 28 squared again? Stupid! 784. Stupid. So we'll have to cross off. That was supposed to be 784. Stupid. Sorry. Good thing we checked our work, huh? So that's going to give us 270. So this is not 271. This is 270 divided by negative 510. Good. So that actually will change our answer a little bit, right? So it's 784. 28 squared is 784. And then we could have minus those two over and got 270. And then we would have inverse cosine the 270 divided by negative 510. Sorry about that. And that would have given us 121.96, which rounds up to 122. Oh my goodness. Sorry about that. So B is actually equal to 122 degrees, not 121. So we'll go ahead and put a sorry there. Sorry. But thanks for watching. It's okay. Everybody has those mistakes. Everybody has those days. And if you caught my mistake, good job. Okay, so that means this is actually just going to be 122 straight up. So no 0.1 there, just 122 degrees. And that does make a big difference to the rest of the problems we're working on, right? Nice. Okay, so 122 to the nearest tenth. So now we can use the law of sines now. So let's use a different color to find the other angle, and then 180 minus the other two angles. So then we're going to go ahead and do law of sines now. Law of sines. Nice. Okay, so then we're going to go ahead and do the law of sines now. And so let's just try angle A this time. So sine of angle A, good, over little a, which is 15 meters, equals, there we go, and then we have B now. So we can do sine of B, which is 122 degrees, divided by little b, which is 28. Nice. Remember this part? Do you remember this part? When we fell in love with math, do you remember this part? So we're going to times, that was supposed to be green U. So then we're going to go to times 15 over to the other side. Remember this part? Good. So 15 times sine 122 over 28. And then we're going to inverse sine over to the other side. So inverse sine over to the other side. And so we do it to one side, you have to do it to the other side. So now we're going to go to inverse sine that sucker. So we'll go to our calculator, and we'll go inverse sine of 15 times sine 122, close parenthesis, don't forget that, close parenthesis, divided by 28, close parenthesis. And so that gives us 27 degrees. So then we have A is equal to 27 degrees. Nice, using the law of sines. Using the law of sines. So then we're going to put 27 degrees in there, beautiful thing. And beautiful thing, we only need one more angle, then we're doing number 12. So now we got to just do 180, remember? 180 degrees minus the 122. And so can we do that in our heads? 7, 10 minus 2 is 8. So that's just 58 degrees. And then minus our 27. So that's the other angle. So 8 minus 7 is 1. 5 minus 2 is 3. So then we get angle C to be 31 degrees, just using 180 minus the two angles we already have, using the law of sines and cosines. Nice. So then we'll go ahead and do 180 degrees, just to double check, minus our 122, which was angle B, minus, using the law of sines, we found angle A, and that gives us 31 degrees, which is C. And now we solve the triangle, right? That means to solve all the angles and all the sides. Nice, nice. So go ahead and try those same processes with number 13 and 14, number 15 and 16, number 17, 18. Keep practicing. And so keep on practicing. So not do till after we come back there. And then when we get to 19, it's just going to be side angle side. So to approximate the length of a marsh, the surveyor walks 425 meters from point A to point B. So here's point A. He walks all the way here to point B. Then he turns 65 degrees, and then he walks 300 meters, and then goes down to point C. Nice. So approximate the length of AC of the marsh. And so that's just this distance right here that we're trying to approximate using the law of cosines. Why is the law of cosines? Because they gave us the side, and whoa, we got to find that angle, and they gave us the side. And so do you know how much that angle is right there? Well, if that's 65 degrees, and the whole thing, right, the whole thing is a straight line, the whole thing is 180 degrees, so you could do 180 minus 65, right? And so I think that's 115. Cool. So that's the big old obtuse angle right here. And now we can just do the law of cosines. And maybe we'll just call this little b, right? Across from big B is little b. And so then we'll just do b squared is equal to the other two sides. They're going to be big now. 300 squared plus 425 squared. Remember this? Minus 2 times those two sides multiplied and added. But this time you just have to plug it all into your calculator, just like the front page. So just like the front page, cosine of the angle that we found, 115 degrees. And so plug it into your calculator and then square root it all, and that'll give you what b equals. Nice. And then the other word problem, which is number 20. So it says here on a map, Orlando is 178 meters due south of Niagara Falls. Denver is 273 degrees from Orlando and 235 meters from Niagara Falls. So find the bearing of Denver from Orlando. So here's Orlando. And so find the bearing of Denver. What is it asking? So find the bearing of Denver from Orlando. So we're just going to go ahead and say this angle right here is what they want you to find. So if you want to just label A, B, and C, you can, just like we did before, to make it easy on you. A, B, and C. And that means that this is little a, and this is little b, and this is little c. So we're just trying to find angle A. And so we're going to go and start with angle A over here, and then work our way backwards. Remember, it's cosine of the angle. And then you jump over to here and start with little a then, because we're trying to find angle A, Orlando, is equal to b squared plus c squared. And so this is the longer process you're going to do. The longer process you're going to do, where you're going to go ahead and combine the b squared plus c squared, minus it to the other side with the a squared, because they did give you your a, b, and c. And then you're going to go ahead and do the minus 2 times the bc. And then you'll end up dividing that over to the other side, and then eventually inverse cosining it at the very, very end to solve for angle A. You got this! So give that a best try. You can email me if you have questions or want to see answers. And we'll try to way to get you those answers just so you can check your results, see how you're doing. Thanks for watching. This was a rather long video, but we definitely wanted you to ace this. So thanks for watching, and appreciate you learning a lot of cosines with me. Peace out. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.